Way to go. Way to go. What did everybody do?
I don't know. You point your fingers at me, and I don't even know what to say now. I'm intimidated because I don't know when to come in on the right part.
Way to go, everybody.
Oh, my gosh. I don't know what to say.
You can't see your screen anyway.
Well, you've intimidated me with your lack of a beard.
Oh, yeah. I shaved it off for November. It's no beard November, right?
No beard November.
No November.
No, it's opposite that.
Oh.
But anyway, you look fantastic.
Thank you.
But it's intimidating. I'll just say that.
It's intimidating.
It's intimidating.
Because of the extra fat. A beard is kind of like mulch. It kind of, covers up all.
No. It's fine.
Without it, it's just like
I get used to it, and then all of a sudden the power of no beard has got me. So, hey, anyway, so today I thought we'd talk about a really.
Mama poured grease in a Crisco
This is what generated this episode.
Uncle Joe put tobacco on my hand where them yellow jackets tore me up.
See?
You ever did that?
I
you
did.
Put tobacco on?
So this is a sweet song. Who sings that? Blake
Shelton.
Okay, it's a sweet song. So if you guys, what's the name of it? Any idea?
I Lived It.
Okay, I Lived It by Blake Shelton. I'd encourage you to go listen to it because it's a sweet song. I was listening on, Andrew, you okay? He's dying over here. He's dying over here. So anyway,
why do we have to record these during flu season? Everybody's hacking and
I got
coughing.
I got a little bit myself going.
Blue flu all over this mic.
That was even before flu season.
Yeah, that's that. Hey, it is. The Australians had a terrible flu season.
Really?
That? And that's an indicator we're going to have a bad one.
Really? It travels this way?
For real?
Huh.
I don't know how.
Well, maybe we can talk about
the kangaroos.
Maybe we could talk about some of the treatments for people that may get flu. I mean, we got some suggestions for them.
That'd be good. Okay, so back to
Texas had the swine flu.
Well, okay. So
remember the swine flu scare?
I do remember that. Yes. I do remember. And the yellow fever for the cows. Remember that? We talked about that.
And what was the one for the horses? It was like pigeon flu a few years ago. Remember that?
Hoof and mouth.
Hoof and mouth. That was a problem.
Hoof and mouth. That's always anyway. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to this Blake Shelton song.
Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, no problem.
So I was listening to some country station the other day, and this song came on, and I just thought, man, that reminds me of exactly what happened to me. He's talking about how his granddad rubbed tobacco juice on a yellow jacket, tore up his hand and all that. And it reminded me of Joey Respani's grandmother.
And Joey Respani.
So Joey was one of my best friends growing up. And so we were in 4th, 5th grade, and we were playing in Joey's grandma's backyard, and we were playing tag. And there were 4 of us, and we always played together. And so somehow there was a nest of yellow jackets, probably about 5 feet, 6 feet up on this tree. And I was running around the back of, Joey was chasing me around the back of this tree. And sure enough, one of them got me right behind the left ear. I remember like it just happened. Man, it hurt. It hurt. Have you ever been stung by a yellow jacket?
Oh, yeah.
Man, they sting.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm a beekeeper, so I'm used to bees. I mean, it's like, okay, it's a sting, but it's not that big a deal.
But they're very aggressive. That's the thing with yellow jackets. They go after you.
They're so aggressive. Yeah. Bees are like, they're just trying to protect their
right.
stuff, and they're doing it just because they see you as like a bear trying to steal their honey or whatever.
Right.
Anyway. But so I got a yellow jacket. I'd never been stung in my life. And so I'm boohooing and just hurting. I'm like, oh, my gosh. Anyway, Joey's grandmother, she's like, come sit in here. And so she took me in, sat me at her kitchen table in the kitchen, and she went over and got this snuff. I'm like, what is that? And Joey's just like, just trust her.
Was this like old school snuff? It wasn't like Copenhagen or something like that?
No, it was old school.
Like in the tin can kind of thing?
She got a little spoon out of it, and then she spit in that, and then kind of mixed it all up, and then she rubbed it on my ear where that yellow jacket, and it felt amazing. It was immediate how it made it feel. And that reminded me, after I heard this song, I'm like, holy crap, that's exactly what happened to me.
Yeah.
And it's the craziest thing I'd ever heard, but it worked.
Yeah. I wonder what's in there that makes it work.
Saliva.
Oh, really? You could just do it without the tobacco?
No, there's something in there. So anyway, it made me think of
the original CBD.
It sounded crazy, but it worked. And so what I thought about is we talk about some antidotes that sound crazy, some anecdotes, some kind of atypical healing methods that we use here in Texas. And this is truly Texas stuff, right?
A lot of, I guess so. I mean, a lot of this was just given by my family.
This is straight Texan.
Yeah,
so I don't want to hear it that this is not non-Texan.
Well, most of it is, but as I look through your notes, I see stuff from China and crap like that.
Well, we use a lot of Eastern medicine here in Texas. China. Well, we do. So I thought
we use a lot of Eastern medicine.
Texas. And then you went and did your homework today too. So you got Granny Holder to come in.
We got a bunch of them.
Strong. Granny Holder came in strong today.
Via my parents, yeah.
Right. So I want to hear those first, and then I'll give you some of mine.
You want to hear Granny Holder's first?
I really kind of want to hear Granny Holder's first because we've got antidotes, we've got anecdotes, and anecdotes are kind of like unproven stories, but we think they're mostly true. Just so you know, I had to look up anecdote. Have you ever looked up that word?
No.
Well, I just told you what it means.
Thank you.
It's a story that's not necessarily validated as true.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
I thought so, too.
Interesting.
So anyway, there you go.
It's an interesting little anecdote.
Well, thank you, Andrew.
So, Granny Holder was my dad's mom.
Okay.
My dad was the youngest of 6 kids.
Got it.
Granny Holder had, a million grandkids. And, she lived to be 94, I think.
Oh, fun.
Okay. I mean, just, So she had a lot of treatments for a lot of stuff. I mean, anything that went wrong, she had something. So anyway, when this topic came up, I, kind of pinged my parents and said, hey, give me some of these remedies. So
nice. Well, let's hear
one of
them.
the funniest ones I thought was if you have a wart, she would say to rub a potato on it and then go bury the potato in the yard.
I can see the potato juice helping somehow, but how come you had to go bury it?
I don't know. I guess maybe that takes the wart evil spirit or something
the spirit
and
of the
buries it out there so it cannot continue.
Maybe it's so that nobody takes the potato again and then they don't get the wart.
Oh, maybe. Because maybe if you touch that potato, you get a wart.
But you could just throw it away in the trash. Yeah. Who's grabbing potatoes out of the trash?
Well, hey, you lived through the the
Great
Depression.
Yeah,
you grab whatever you can. Hey, did
bury that potato. Somebody will get a wart.
Well, you might grow a warty potato plant.
You could.
Did you ever have warts as a kid?
Oh, I'm sure I did. Yeah.
You don't remember?
No, I mean they weren't a big issue for me or anything.
So I
think we just used the potato and buried it. Moved on.
Well, we didn't. I remember I had 11 on this hand and 9 on this hand, and Mom took me to a dermatologist, and I got them frozen off, and that was weird.
Oh wow,
that was weird.
That's intense. You came out of there with superpower.
Why'd you have so many warts, man?
I don't know. Grabbed a plate, kissed me frogs.
A lot of frogs or something.
Something. I don't know. Keep going. I have no idea.
The other one my mom gave me, and this is according to Granny Holder, is if the baby has a diaper rash, you take some flour, like flour out of the pantry,
right,
and then you brown it, like you cook it, turn it brown, and then rub that on the baby's butt.
Oh.
And that takes care of the diaper rash. And my mom says that, yes, that does actually work.
Okay.
Which tells me that at one point I had flour on my butt.
Burnt flour.
Okay. All right.
As a child.
I hadn't heard of that, but that sounds good.
This is one that my dad kind of threw in. He says if you're going to castrate your animals, do it during a full moon so that they won't bleed as much.
Okay.
So
I have not
You didn't do that with Meatball, did you?
No.
He's probably bleeding it out.
No. No, but we did the rubber band trick on him. Remember that?
Yeah.
So we did we didn't cut him.
Just slowly
It just slowly squeezed. Yeah, it did.
That's terrible.
It was terrible. But we didn't cut him. No.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
What else? What else? Because
okay. Yeah, I'm trying to recover from that one.
They're good. All of these are fantastic.
Apparently, if you need to clean your eyes, you put a button in it.
Button.
Put a button in your eye and it'll clean it. Okay. And my mom sent me that in a text, and I said, "Okay, are you cleaning your eye or are you cleaning the button?"
Maybe it's just the fact that you're closing your eyelids to let your own eyelids kind of and the.
Yeah, she said it's cleaning your eye.
Okay.
And she said, and Granny did it, and apparently it worked.
Hey, I trust.
Granny
I trust what now the potato thing. I don't know, but this okay, fine.
You're not putting like a button like on the other side of your eyelids, right? It's like you're kind of
Yeah,
I
think it's on the outside.
You remember that's what
yeah,
they...
I think it would be on the outside.
So
Otherwise, it would scratch up your cornea.
You remember that's what they...
It's gonna do some damage.
They used to put a button or a coin. No, it was a coin on your eyes after you died. That was like an...
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's right.
We don't do that in
Texas,
Texas,
right. So. This is one, Granny did it to me. I don't know. But if, like, I had a tick one time.
Oh, ticks.
And they would take and get a little needle, like, super hot on the stove.
Uh-huh.
And then stick it on that tick, and the tick would let go.
Oh.
Because those ticks, you can't, how do you get a tick out? Because the problem was if you just rip it off, the head stays in there, it get infected.
Yeah.
So that was a treatment.
Okay.
That we did.
Okay.
I don't really understand this one. According to Granny Holder, you should only get your hair cut when the moon is waning, so that...
Waxing or waning?
Waning.
Waning, okay.
Yeah, when it's waning. And that
Okay.
keeps your hair from growing back too fast.
Oh.
So I guess, back in the
in the day, you didn't
want to spend money on haircuts. You get it cut when the moon is waning.
Well,
so.
I happen to like your guidance on drinking caffeine late at night. This is not Granny Holder.
No,
this is a little more suspicious.
This is Kevin Holder.
What is it that you told your kids?
When the kids were little, they would want to drink like, Dr. Pepper or something right before bedtime. And I told them, no, you'll be peeing and screaming all night.
Okay, the peeing. Now, Andrew, that worked on you, right?
Yeah. It worked on all the kids, actually. Yeah. I mean, who wants to pee and scream all night?
Well, it terrified me.
Well, I'm okay with the peeing, but the screaming.
I just imagine that I would be so hyper that I would just be peeing, and as I'm peeing, I'm just...
No, what I meant was you'll be laying in your bed crying, screaming like a little baby because you can't sleep. That was the original meaning of it.
Okay.
And it is true.
Okay.
In fact, I'm glad that's only sparkling water you're drinking because it is 7 p.m., Andrew, and you'd be peeing and screaming all night.
Yeah, we don't want that.
The other day, I actually went to Panda Express and I got a Diet Coke with my food.
Yeah.
And this is at like 8 o'clock at night, and I could not sleep that night, and I was very annoyed.
You were peeing and screaming.
And I did go pee in the middle of the night. Did you scream? While I was still wide awake. No, I didn't scream because I didn't want to wake up my roommates.
Okay. Well,
but that's the only reason.
I have common courtesy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd be wailing.
Yeah, I worry about that.
Burn treatment, put butter on it.
Butter?
Yeah, that's what we were always told, but I don't know. And Kendra had said it might actually not be good for it. Actually, it might be bad for a burn to put butter on it.
I don't know. I'd have to talk to I'd text some of my doctor buddies on that one. I don't know about that one.
What else? If your ears are burning, somebody's talking about you. I mean, that's kind of everybody, I think, says that.
Right. But they're not actually burning.
Yeah. I mean, mine do. Mine literally.
If me and Amy are over talking about you, your ears heat up?
No, when we were younger, like when after Kendra and I first got married, at random times my ears would just turn red and they'd be burning.
Somebody was talking about you.
I think so. But that hasn't happened in a long time. But it's weird. And Kendra would be like, Kevin, your ears are red. I'm like, they're really hot right now, too. I don't understand what's going on.
All right. Now, what's this that Pawpaw said that how to know when company is coming over?
That's Papaw.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, Papaw.
This is just something funny he would say. He would say, like, my nose is itching. There must be somebody coming with hole in their britches. Or if your nose itches, somebody's coming with hole in their britches. With a hole in their britches.
That's great.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think that's true, actually.
Well, my
I'm pretty sure that's not true.
I don't know about that, but we'd have. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to dispute that one. Now, my Uncle Bill, and he's since passed, but he was convinced that if his knees were sore at all, that it was going to rain.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that a lot. A lot.
And
the other rain predictor, we'll finish that, and I'll tell you another one.
I've read about that, and there's something about changes in the barometric pressure that actually affect your joints.
Yeah.
And as my joints and my knees are worse, I can kind of feel. Now, some women say that their breast feels slightly off, and
that's weird.
When it's before it's raining,
their breast feels off.
There's a movie about that. It's really funny. No, it's really funny. Actually, it wasn't. It was that movie Mean Girls, where the real dumb one, where she became a meteorologist, and she's like. she would feel her breast and be like, "It's raining outside," when it actually was raining.
Oh my gosh!
You can't do that.
Well, she did. So it was so funny. Anyway.
But another one Granny would say is like we'd be driving down the road, and if we saw cows laying down, she would say, "Oh, it's going to rain. Cows are laying down. It's going to rain."
Yeah, I've heard that.
And I've always thought that too. I think that's true.
Well, you should tell Alice that because she lays down all the time and it doesn't rain.
Oh, well, she's just a lazy cow.
She is a big, fat, lazy cow.
I'll tell her.
Okay, you should go tell her tomorrow and go see her.
What else is in here? One that I had, I don't know if you remember this one, but like for a black eye, just put a steak on it.
Oh, yeah.
That was always in cartoons. I never actually saw anybody do that, but I always saw that in cartoons.
No. And now you say get frozen peas and put on there.
Oh, yeah.
Because you
that
see
would make
that a
sense.
lot.
That would make sense.
You see that a lot.
I feel like if you put a raw steak on there, you get
kinda
sick or something.
Kind of waste. Well, nowadays, yeah.
Kind of wasting a good steak.
Wasting a good steak.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah. So I think that's all I had on that one. And then just cold and fever remedies. I mean,
Oh, yeah?
tons of those.
Yeah. No, I've got a few of those too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feed a cold, starve a fever.
Feed a
Did you ever hear that?
Just go eat a hamburger or something?
Feed a cold, but starve a fever.
Okay. Yeah, I never understood.
You never heard that one?
I always remember hearing that, but I never
Yeah.
understood it.
I didn't either. I looked it up and it says, no, you should be eating and hydrating for both a cold and a fever.
Resting, plenty of hydration. Yeah, you would think that. Okay, well, let's flip over to some of mine. I've got a few. The one that my mother would always, as you remember, I've told you my mother used to be terribly superstitious. Mm-hmm. And so lightning was a big deal to her. Anytime lightning was anywhere within, I don't know, Texas, she'd be like, don't get in the shower, don't swim, and then you added one.
Don't sit under a tree.
Yeah, don't sit under a tree.
I've always heard don't swim or sit. I never heard don't get in the shower. I never heard that one.
I think Mom just made that up.
Yeah.
But here I am, whatever, nasty, and I'm like, Mom, I just want to go take a shower. She says, no, don't. You'll get struck by lightning. I'm like, I'm just in the house in a shower.
But the pool makes sense. I mean, you don't want to be in a body of water.
Don't go swim. Yeah, no.
Sitting under a tree.
And yeah, when we talked about Lee Trevino, I think it was 2 or 3 times he got struck by lightning.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I can't remember. So fact checker, check. I mean, I'll do my research.
Was he playing golf when he did it?
I think so.
Because I always heard that too. Don't play golf if it's lightning because those clubs are
metal. Yeah, lightning rods. Right. No, he definitely has been struck 2 or 3 times, and I think it's while he was out on the course. And then you go to some of these kind of cowboy methods around, like say if you get bit by a rattlesnake, then you remember John Wayne or whoever would go and make the double cross with their knife and suck the poison out.
Yeah,
that is absolutely not the thing to do now.
Oh, really?
Oh no, don't do that.
Don't you should put a tourniquet on there?
I don't know, but you don't make incisions and start sucking poison out. You just get the person to the hospital.
You just leave it in there, let them die.
Yeah, no.
It's like I'm not going to die.
You start
on your
digging their grave.
And then I told you all these bad luck to avoid bad luck. You know, if a cat crosses a path, cuss violently.
Yeah,
that was Mom.
I never heard that one.
It was so dumb.
Cuss violently.
If you walk under a ladder or break a mirror, there is no antidote for that. You're just screwed. That was my literal comment.
Oh, there's no hope.
You got no hope if you walk under a ladder or break a mirror.
Yeah.
And then there's all these ones about like if you get poisoned, ingest charcoal to vomit. Now that's real. No.
Okay, wait. What is the one about making a camper pee in bed at summer?
Oh, no, that's funny.
Camp?
You don't remember that? If you remember, if you wanted to have somebody wet their bed at camp, you'd
heard that.
You'd go get a warm pan of water,
I've heard of that.
and you'd stick their hand in it,
And
real
then
gentle.
they'd pee their pants.
They'd wet the bed. That's legit. That's legit. I've seen that.
Andrew, we should try that on one of these episodes. Like, stick Kyle's hand secretly in a pan of water.
That'd be good audio content.
See if he pees in his pants.
Yeah, the older I get, it's easier to think about peeing my pants, just because I'm getting old.
Bloodletting and leaching for illnesses. I've always heard that.
Well, that's
Is that a myth or?
It's it was a healing method that we used back in the day before we realized how stupid that was.
Is it?
Now, leaching is still something that we do use.
Yeah, I thought it was.
There's still some methods that we use leeching. But bloodletting, absolutely, that was medieval, and we figured
What
out.
is bloodletting? I don't even know what that is.
Well, it was basically a theory that the physicians of the day thought, well, you've clearly got something bad in your blood, so we need to take some of your blood out to let the bad out. That was absolutely a terrible, faulty idea.
Just bleed this guy out.
Yeah, that's what they do.
How did they know how much to let out?
I don't know. Until
Random.
Hopefully he didn't die.
He still looks like crap. Let him keep bleeding.
Yeah, keep on bleeding. Now, there's still a lot. There was another old Western thing, and all the Western healers would come around and they'd sell snake oil. Mm-hmm. And there really was like snake venom and snake stuff, and that was there was a lot of people in there that said that really works, and that came from China.
It came from China?
It did.
China.
I knew you were going to do that. So it was because we had so many Chinese railroad workers in Texas then that, well, actually all through the Midwest, as the railroad came down, we had all these Chinese railroad workers, and the snake oil came up through them. And then they
So was it just the venom? I mean, because you can do that today. You can go get a shot of rattlesnake venom, and it's like an immunization. It builds up your immunity to it, right?
Right.
Is that what they were doing,
No,
or was it just?
I think there was
a scam?
I think that's a scam.
Okay.
There were a lot of different ingredients. Mineral oil was probably the primary, where you could actually drink it and not poison yourself. And then there were traces of some of these other things.
So they were selling this stuff and saying that it was
to
prevent you from
a catch-all for
dying from snakes, and
cold,
it was a scam.
influenza, whatever.
Got it.
Hemorrhoids. I mean, everything. They would say this stuff. Drink some of this, and this will solve your problem.
Yeah, I like your one on here. Mercury is a topical ointment. We had mercurochrome. Do you remember that stuff? Mercurochrome?
No.
Oh, dude. That was a little medicine that was sold. It was called mercurochrome, and it had mercury in it, and I don't know what the chrome was. But yeah, I guarantee your mom put that on you.
Well, mercury was...
They would rub that on... I had a bunch of that stuff put on for
Right.
various different cuts and stuff like that.
until they realized how incredibly toxic it was.
Yeah, and look at us, man.
Yeah, right.
That's our generation.
Yeah, but it was heavily used back in the bloodletting medieval times, and where mercury was a catch-all.
No, back in the 70s, they still had mercurochrome
Yeah.
out over the counter.
Yeah. So, okay,
Crazy.
and then and now I would say for stress relief, what do you think your number one thing is for stress relief?
It's got to be exercise, deep breathing. It's not drinking Diet Coke.
It is. I put that right there. I typed it down. If I get stressed,
Because you typed it in there, it's official.
No, I told you last week.
You should update the Wikipedia page on stress relief.
Just go
You can
drink a
update
Diet-
that. You can update it.
Go drink a Diet
When the
Coke.
boys were little, I would.
You told me
I would
this.
update Wikipedia with stupid stuff and then have them go check.
So
They'd be like,
bad.
"Oh my gosh, it says that on Wikipedia." Like,
No, there's all kinds
and
of
then
stuff.
Wikipedia banned me for life. I think
They did?
Yeah. No,
Oh,
not
that's
really.
too bad.
But they revoked some of my edits.
Well, nowadays, for various illnesses, stress relief, all this other, there are a ton of Eastern medicine, things that have come into very common use now. So we use all these herbs. We use these roots like turmeric.
Turmeric, yeah.
Yeah.
Kendra had that on our list.
Well, I take that every day, and I have
you
no
take it?
idea why.
It's
an anti-inflammatory.
Yeah, it's anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
But we don't take it. We have it's a spice, so we put it on food or something like that.
Right. I just take a pill.
Take a pill.
I just take a pill.
Turmeric pill.
Yeah, I do. And I have no idea how to say it. But then all the essential oils, there's a billion of those. Amy uses them out the wazoo. A ton of people use them. And now
Amy got us hooked on that for
Yeah.
quite a while. We were slathering oil all over everybody.
Oh, yeah. And people say, oh, yeah, well, if you mix this and this and this, that'll solve that, and et cetera.
Good stuff.
I love the smells, but I don't know what the healing powers are. But I'm
Yeah, I
sure
don't know
there's
either.
something.
All I know is one time I had a cold, and Kendra said, rub some of this peppermint oil on your face for this cold.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, I put a massive amount and rubbed it all over my face. My face was on fire.
Oh,
It was on fire.
Mine too. I've done
It was
that.
on fire.
I've done
Kendra's
that.
like, you're supposed to just do like a drop.
No, I'd pour 2 or 3 drops right under my nose
Yeah.
to open up my nasal passage. And oh my gosh, it literally burned the
your
skin
hair
of my
on
lip
fire.
off.
I was told that if you eat pollen, that'll cure your allergies.
It'll help. Yeah.
Well, something
Bee
that
pollen, especially bee pollen.
Yeah.
Bee pollen is very healthy.
it's
for
supposed
you.
to help. Now, the one that I can't talk anybody into doing, I've only got one buddy, a guy named Mark Sanders, and he has done bee venom therapy. That's an Eastern medicine thing too, and I haven't gotten any takers on that.
So what do you do?
You literally get a bee and you put it on the end of kind of a stick. And so you get, and so the way, if you YouTube bee venom therapy, you'll see there'll be a little cup and all these little sticks coming out, and they've got like rubber banded on a bee with its stinger sticking out. It's a live bee. And you literally put it on wherever you want it to do, and it makes the bee sting you. And that bee venom goes in, and it creates endorphins. And it causes your body to react, and it creates an abundance of white blood cells. So the theory goes.
But then the bee dies, right?
Well, of course the bee
bee
dies.
loses its stinger. It dies.
Oh
right?
yeah, no,
Gets
you.
its guts ripped out.
Yeah.
That's right.
I would just use tobacco juice. I mean, why kill a bee when you can
Well,
just
I just smoke a cigarette.
no, just do some snuff and
Well, this was for this guy has Lyme's disease, and so he uses it for pain control.
oh, okay, that makes
And
sense.
so it really creates
I believe it probably does actually work. I
Yeah.
mean, bee venom and bee pollen and
right.
all that stuff is
Right.
legit.
It's legit. So, but there's a bunch of other things that we use here in Texas, like acupuncture, reflexology, massage, chiropractic, etc. And those are for antidotes for pain control, and those are pretty common nowadays.
Right.
Whether or not you believe in them or not, because I got a bunch of like medical doctor buddies, and they think it's cuckoo stuff. All this other, like the acupuncture and the reflexology and the chiropractic care, but
No, I don't think it's cuckoo.
no, I don't
I
either.
don't.
I think there's something
Yeah,
there.
I think there's something to it
Yeah, I do too.
as well.
I've got it. I heard a pretty good song about acupuncture.
What?
Oh yeah,
I've never heard anyone say
The
that.
song is called "Acupuncture No More." That's what the lyrics are of the chorus. Yeah, and then the pre-chorus goes, "Those freaking needles."
Really?
Yeah, it's a pretty good song.
Sounds like a great song.
I
wish
lurked
I-
the internet too
I wish I
hard,
had the
so-
audio for that.
Yeah, I'd kind of like to hear that.
All right, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
So we had a lot of cold and flu remedies
Right.
too. We would have to
Yeah, did your mom ever rub Vicks vapor rub on
man,
your
dude,
chest?
I hated that stuff.
I did too.
And then my shirt would stick to it.
It would.
And then she'd put a humidifier in my room.
Yeah.
And so
was
then it would get all
sticky,
humid, and then that
hot,
crap on my chest was sticking. I was
Yeah.
miserable.
miserable.
I think it just made me so miserable that I wanted to go to school instead
Yeah.
of staying home and
Can I
being
show
sick.
you all this real fast?
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
That she had heard of. He turned out that this physician
Here, I'll skip to the
wanted to
chorus.
treat me up. I gladly accepted those freaking needles. Those freaking needles. I don't want acupuncture no more. Not acupuncture no more. Not acupuncture no more. I don't want acupuncture no more.
That sounds like a song you and I would make up.
What the heck is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. You're
Kyle C. Acupuncture
No, his name's
No
Kyle.
More.
you troll the
Kyle
internet
K.
too much, Andrew. Sorry, buddy. Okay.
So yeah, there was that. There was chicken soup.
Yeah.
We had to drink a lot of chicken soup.
right.
What other remedies did we have for colds and flus?
Drink chicken soup?
Or drink lots of fluids and eat chicken soup. I
Right.
mean, because chicken soup is fluid.
Right.
That works. I'm telling you. I
Chicken
swear
soup?
by that. Yeah.
Really?
Anytime I've started to get a cold, I just eat nothing but chicken for soup for 48 hours.
Huh.
It's a miracle drug.
Yeah, I probably should do that.
I was just
It's better
sick and
than
I
those
didn't do that.
freaking needles.
I did, however, whenever I was sick, I did eat some lime chicken ramen for dinner once.
Yeah? How'd that work out for you?
I mean, it tasted pretty good. I threw some kimchi in there, and it was very tasty.
God, Andrew, you're such a hip. Kimchi and ramen noodles.
It's really good.
Back in my day, we just had chicken soup out of a can. Hot toddies, though. Did y'all do hot toddies?
No, but I've heard of them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
These are good.
And that's a remedy for what? For not
For
feeling
cold,
well?
for cold and flu.
Yeah.
And I liked it as a kid because it has whiskey in it. So,
Did you heat up some hot Dr. Pepper?
no.
Probably should have.
No, we didn't do that. But Dad would make, it was whiskey, lemon juice, like sugar, and a candy cane. Melt that all in there and drink it. It's really good.
Now that sounds good.
It's really good.
Yeah, they're very
Now
tasty.
here,
Even when you're not sick.
I've got some random anecdotes here. If you have any kind of sorrow, you should drink a lot of alcohol because it drowns it. Is that
I think that's what I said on one of the previous episodes.
alcohol drowns sorrow? And then if you want to avoid doctor visits, you do what?
An apple a day.
That's so stupid. Eat an
But
apple
also,
a
you
day.
should give your teacher an apple every day.
Right.
Right? So
And
how does
then-
that work?
And then what I don't understand
There's a lot of apples
is
going around.
if you want to avoid sneezing, do you say Gesundheit or God bless you? Is that to avoid sneezing or the sin of the current previous
It's
sneeze?
just to bless the person that has sneezed.
Why? You just blew a bucket of snot out. Who cares?
Right.
They just
Blew out some
like-
flu.
God bless you.
yeah. I don't
You
understand.
got to say it like you're kind of slightly irritated. God bless you.
I don't understand the origin of why you want to bless a person after they've sneezed.
I don't either.
Probably because whenever somebody sneezed back in the day, they were probably going to die.
And what
Yeah.
is Gesundheit? What is that
Well,
like a
it's-
German word or
It's-
something?
Yeah, I think it's German.
Gesundheit?
Yeah, it's
What
good.
kind of a word is that?
It's German. It's a whole other language. Yeah.
Well, there is a Seinfeld episode where, you know,
Oh gosh. No.
remember the one where George says "God bless you" to this woman, and they're on this like double date or something with this other couple, and this lady sneezes. George says "God bless you," and her husband didn't say it,
Oh.
and so she gets angry at the husband and almost gets a divorce, and then ends up having an affair with George just because he was kind enough to say "God bless
Well, I
you."
will
It's
say,
stupidest thing ever.
There are some real protocol issues that I struggle with on the sneeze, because like I'll be in a fancy business meeting with a bunch of people, and somebody will go on a rapid fire sneeze attack, and so you've got 38 God bless yous. And then you go again and again and again, and then the
Kyle,
whole
this is-
meeting stops down, and it's a God bless you-a-thon.
This is literally in that Seinfeld episode.
Really?
They have this whole conversation about, well, do you do one God bless you at the end, or do you God bless after every sneeze?
Well, no, this has really happened to me in real life, and I've generally worked with terribly nice people, and they just God bless you it up, which is amazing, but it totally stops down the meeting.
One of the things that irritates Kendra is that I have developed this habit over the years of, if she says any word that remotely sounds like a sneeze, I just say God bless you.
Oh, that's sweet.
So if she says like it's you,
oh,
like it's you, like God bless you.
oh,
But what started happening is when she would really sneeze, I would never say God bless you.
Oh.
And she was like, well, you always say it whenever I'm not sneezing, but whenever I do sneeze, you don't actually say it.
you just blow it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm locked into that for some reason. Anybody says a word that sounds like a sneeze,
Oh.
I God bless them.
Okay.
But a real sneeze, forget it. You're on your
Okay.
own.
All right. Well,
Forget it.
I've got an anecdote or an antidote for poverty.
I like that one.
Get a
Get
job.
a job? Yeah. I think that's fairly,
I made that one up myself.
yeah.
An antidote for poverty is go get a job.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm not sure that's terribly PC, but
No.
okay. And then what if you got some nasty shoes? You ever heard?
Yeah. I've not heard of this one. This
Rub a
one's fun.
banana peel on it? For real.
Yeah,
it
but I
works
mean-
like a charm.
But why not just
does
take
it
a
do?
rag and wipe your shoes off? And who has extra bananas? You just get
I don't
extra
know.
bananas laying around.
I don't know. And then another thing, if you got snakes in the chicken house, what do you do?
Put a golf ball in there so they'll eat it and swallow it.
My grandmother always had golf balls in a chicken roost.
Also, that works to help the chickens know where to lay the eggs too.
Oh, no,
We've
I didn't
learned.
know.
When
I
we've
didn't
had
know that.
babies, we'll put little golf balls in there. That way, they know. Oh, when I start laying eggs, I need to.
I need to do that because my little ladies, they always go to this one spot, and I want them to go to these other spots. Maybe I'll put some balls in there.
Yeah, put some balls in there. You can buy fake eggs too. I put Tractor Supply.
Oh.
Stick them in there. Yeah.
But have I ever thrown my fake egg at you? Oh, do you remember the one I got in New York?
and it laid out in the pasture for a month.
I got you one. I spent $2.50
Yeah,
at the
I
gag
know.
shop in New York, and I brought it home and I threw it to you. It's a rubber ball. It looks just like an egg.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah. And everybody freaks out when you throw it to them because it's like an egg.
Literally, I was out there by the grill and you threw it. And then I'm not kidding. Wherever it stopped, it stayed there for like 6 months. That thing never moved.
It's a great.
And I finally picked it up like 6 months later.
It's a great gag. You need to take it and play with other people with it. And then, okay, hey, and then you've done this on if you want to avoid getting your chickens killed, you've put what up?
By a hawk. Yeah, an owl.
The owl.
No, and it prevents the hawks.
Yeah, you put the big plastic owl up and then you move it around.
Yeah, and you can buy those at Tractor Supply, and they got the eyes that, reflect the sun in weird ways. And it does keep the hawks away. The hawks kind of see there and like, whoa.
What about a scarecrow? What's that for? When do you use
I think
a
that's
scarecrow?
to keep crows away.
Out of what? Your pasture?
Out of your cornfield.
Out of your cornfield.
Yes.
Scarecrows out of your cornfield.
I guess crows like to eat corn. But, I mean, a scarecrow. Right?
Thank you for breaking it down. Okay.
But we like crows around here because the crows chase off the hawks.
All right. And
Yeah.
then
So that's a good thing.
And then
Crows
I-
are scare hawks.
And then I'm down to my last one, and I've got, and PETA, forgive me for this, but so if you want your dogs to not kill the chickens anymore, what do you do? And I just did
You
this.
put an invisible
electric
underground fence, and you keep them off in their area. That's what I have done, and most normal people will take
That's-
that route.
That's a good route to take. I've chosen not to do that, and I've got dogs and chicken commiserating all amongst themselves. And so Boo, our brand new dog, she and Remy and Dixie, I think, all just killed a chicken.
Oh, are you serious?
2 weeks ago. You haven't seen the pictures of it? So this is an old cowboy method. And again, sorry, PETA, but I took that dead chicken and I tied it to the dog's neck. Dip it in pig blood and throw it out in the river.
Really?
No, I did it. I did it, and I kept it on there for several hours for each dog. And it's nasty. It stinks.
Do you really think that works? I don't think they make any connection with that.
They do not want a dead chicken tied to their neck anymore. I'm telling you.
But
They-
you think they can mentally make the connection that, okay, if I
They're
kill a
not-
chicken, Mr. Kyle's going to come and tie a chicken around my neck?
Well, I'm just saying it hadn't happened anywhere close. They're not even. They
Maybe it
just look
works.
at them and they just move away.
Maybe it works.
Shout out to PETA.
That's right. That's right. Shout out to PETA.
Well, you had a cure on here for colic in your
Well,
horse.
Yeah. Colic on a horse is a big deal. It'd kill your horse.
I know. We've had a couple scares here.
And colic is basically where they ingest too much stuff and they can't process it.
Yeah, it gets stuck in their intestines.
That's right. It balls up, and you either have to do a GI through the throat or through the bunghole,
Yeah.
and get that stuff out.
Now, we had a vet come out, and I always end up helping, and they stick a tube up through the nostril.
Yeah, and they push
And
it
the-
mineral water.
And the tube goes through the nostril and then down the throat into the stomach and their
it's-
intestines, and
it's
then they
disgusting.
start pumping mineral water in there.
It's disgusting.
And then after that treatment, then the vet walks around and puts on a latex glove and
That's right.
shoves her hand up the butt
That's
and
right.
feels around. Is like,
Far up there as she can get.
yeah, it's crazy, man.
They'll get it all over their shirt. and
What is that
everything.
again? Whenever
Colic.
they eat too much grass or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
And
had
it just
we had
balls up in there and they can't process it.
Well, the Prices had a horse over that they were boarding, and they kept putting out a fresh bale, a big round bale, and they didn't keep the horses off of it. They just let them be on there 24/7, and they would colic. Because horses don't like cows. When cows get full, they go lay down and they chew their cud, and they don't overeat. Horses have to be taken off of fresh grass or fresh hay because they'll colic. They'll eat themselves to death, literally. And so that's why we put our horses up at night or whatever, and you just have to keep them off that
Yeah,
fresh
we've had
grass.
2 colic incidents. And then we had one where Doc has colic twice, and then Pumpkin one time gulped down just a bunch of grain. Just gulped it down, and
it balled
got
up.
in her throat.
Yeah,
And the vet had to come out and
it's terrible.
put a bunch of crap in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not really a anecdote. I mean, that's legit.
No, it's legit.
That's how you got to do it.
I remember the last time Doc colicked, it was so bad he had to go stay at the vet.
Oh yeah, one time we had to take him up to the vet.
I remember. I helped you get him up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, what about mental illness? Do you think a lobotomy or electric shock is a good idea to help you cure your mental illness?
Lobotomy.
Is that a good idea?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Or electric shock?
That's what they did at Towns Van Zandt, right?
They gave him electric shock therapy.
Yeah.
They did.
Sounds
Messed
pretty
him
good.
up.
Sounds pretty good.
That's an episode right there.
Yeah, that should be an episode.
Huh, that's odd. Okay, so
Well, did you ever hear that you got to wait 6 hours after you eat before you can go swimming?
just
Or else
1
you get
hour?
Cramps.
No, it's 1 hour.
See, Kendra said 1 hour too.
6 hours.
My parents always told me 6 hours.
They're just trying to keep you out of the pool.
I know. They just want to take me swimming.
No, I've always heard 1 hour. You eat and then you wait 1 hour. And I don't know if that's official or not, but I always heard that and I abided by it for the most part. And
Yeah.
sure enough, now as an old guy, I'll eat lunch and I'll get hot and I'll go jump in the pool right after and I cramp up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm almost
Yeah.
done.
Well, now, what is the secret to growing hair on your chest? Did you ever learn that one?
Pump
You
it
got to
up.
eat or drink something like spicy or strong.
Oh.
Like, go drink that black coffee. It'll put hair on your chest.
Oh,
You never heard that?
No, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
That's very Popeye.
That'd be nice.
That'd be very Popeye. Yeah. I wish there was something to give me like big muscles or something. Like eat a can
Eat
of
a
spinach.
can of spinach.
Like Popeye.
Oh, that works, yeah. You just got to tolerate the canned spinach. I actually like canned spinach. I do.
Oh, gosh.
I'm like the only customer of canned spinach, I think.
That sounds terrible. Well, hey, I tell you what, if y'all have good ideas, we need to add those to the program notes. So let Kevin or I know. I'm sure you can email or text us. And I'm sure there's some great ideas that we could add to this. And
These are just great things that, growing up, just your grandma told you or your mom, and, you didn't know any better.
I didn't know any better. But I'll tell you that tobacco juice, Joey's grandma's tobacco juice, on my Yellow Jacket stain was incredible.
Yeah.
It totally worked.
There was one when Kendra was pregnant. She had heartburn, and they said, oh, well, that kid must have a lot of hair in there.
Really? Yeah. I didn't hear that. Which one was
That
it?
was my family. I don't know. I can't remember. Apparently, if you got heartburn, that means you got a hairy child in there.
Well, there's all these anecdotes about if a woman's pregnant, about if they carry it low or high or the vein in their eye.
Yeah, if it's low or high, it's a boy or a girl.
Yeah, about what the sex is, and there's all these wives' tales about that.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't even get into that, but that one's interesting too.
Yeah. No, this is good. This is.
Well, it's not scientific. Let's put it that
Really?
way.
Really?
Yeah. So this is not a scientific report on antidotes. So I would say if you get bit by a rattlesnake, I would advise you to go immediately to the hospital.
You don't want to take some time out and get out your Bowie knife and
put your
cut an X on it and suck the venom out.
No, just get to the hospital. Just go call 911, get to the hospital, whatever you got to do. But don't
Drink some snake oil and suck the venom out.
Yeah, don't do any of that.
Go on about your business. You'll be fine.
All right. Well, hey, I appreciate you guys listening to us today. Give us a review whenever you can.
Give us a review. We're on Apple, iTunes, or what is it? Apple Podcasts.
And if you're on an Android, you can actually listen to
it. It is on Google Play. It is. It's out there.
Kevin and I debated that this
The
week,
issue
too.
is with Google. Why are we getting into this here? Yeah.
Because I like to pull you off sides.
Google is the issue. No, we are on Google Play and we're on Spotify. So
okay,
look
good.
us up. Give us a review. 5 stars, baby.
5 stars, baby.
All right. Adios.
See ya.
Bye.